Happy New Year, my friends. Let's drink to a very happy 2022. This is my morning coffee. I don't have my coffee first thing in the morning. And in fact, I'm going to talk a little bit about that today. So I hope you all had an absolutely fantastic Christmas. And I hope that you're raring to go now things are going back to work. If not, reach out to me. You know where to find me. For those of you who don't, my name is Andrea Kuchin, and I am a marketing consultant who now helps people do all sorts of exciting things in their businesses, including residual income and, well, all sorts of different things. So if you're working from home or thinking of working from home, I'm your girl. My business, My Home Biz Tips. You can see the little logo in the corner there. myhomebiz.tips. Tips stands for, here we are, tools and ideas that produce success. Tools and ideas that produce success. And that is actually what we do. And you can find us at, what do we got here? Yeah. You can find more information about me specifically at myhomebiztips/Andrea Kuchin. Today, I want to talk about how we're going to create the year that we want for 2022, right? So a couple of days ago, we were probably sitting around the fire or something similar to that, because I know that some places don't need fires even on New Year's Eve, but we were sitting together with our families or our friends, and we were talking about what happened last year, and we were talking about what's going to happen next year. Now, there are two ways of looking at that. That is what's going to happen to us next year, which is one thing, and then there's what we're going to create next year. And I was watching something, and there was an interviewer, and he was going around and he was asking people, what are you looking for next year? What do you want to have next year? So I know it's not just me talking about next year. Okay, so what I thought we would do today is talk about how we're going to get these things done, because most of us probably set huge goals for the new year. I believe I've heard many times from many different places that January gym subscriptions skyrocket. And I think most of them have probably been cancelled by March, because we have these great ideas for these massive things that we want to do. But when it actually comes down to it, they're overwhelming. And so we don't do them. Now, there are two solutions to that. One, hire a coach like me. In some areas, which I would talk to you about in more detail when we get to know each other a little bit better. I was the very first accountability coach. There are various online places that you could hire coaches, and I was the very first one doing accountability coaching 8 or 9 years ago, and that's where it all started. Anyway, so you could hire a coach, or you could listen to a coach, which is what we're going to do today, because I'm going to be listening as well as talking. Because, as I said, one of the reasons we give up on things is because they're too overwhelming. They're too big. We literally bite off more than we can chew. The way to eat an elephant or an ant is one bite at a time. You can only chew as much as you can comfortably get into your mouth. So let's do that. Let's actually look at our life in bite-sized chunks. And let's start by doing some little bite-sized things that will help us organize our lives, improve our lives in very, very small ways, but which will have a dramatic effect further down the line. And small changes lead to big changes. You will see that when we're sitting here next year looking back on 2022 going, who would have thought that tiny little thing would have made such a difference? Well, I thought, I'm telling you, these tiny things are going to make a massive difference. So what's the first one? And it's a twofold one. The first one is to wake up earlier and spend that extra bit of time on yourself. Okay. So it could mean just waking up 15 minutes earlier and using those 15 minutes to plan your day. Or wake up 10 minutes earlier and use those 10 minutes to meditate or stretch or sit in a quiet place having a steaming hot cup of cocoa or tea or whatever it is. But wake up earlier, a little bit earlier, and use that time for yourself. Now, you know what you need. You know whether the best thing would be to meditate, or whether the best thing would be to go for a walk, or whether the best thing would be to plan out your day, or, start on your first thing. But it's about you and what will enhance your life, right? So if you want to use that in a personal way, go ahead. If you want to do it in a business way, go ahead. Now, obviously, it's going to make waking up earlier easier if you go to bed earlier. And that is a mistake a lot of people make, and I've been making recently, because now I'm getting up earlier because I have a daughter that has to be got ready for school. I forgot to go to bed earlier in order to make up for it. So today, only day 2, I am absolutely wiped out. So do remember to go to bed a little bit earlier, and then it'll be easier to wake up a little bit earlier. Okay, the first thing you do in the morning is something that'll help you wake up, right? Hydrate your body. Now, I know a lot of people drink masses, gallons, in fact, of water, but just drinking gallons of water is not necessarily the answer, because quite often your body can't actually absorb a lot of that water and you just pee it all away, and then you're constantly going to the bathroom, which is not fun either. So here are 2 tips to make water better for you and more easily assimilable by the body. In other words, it will actually hydrate and go into your body on a cellular level and even your skin as well. Okay, first thing, drink warm water with a splash of lemon juice, fresh lemon juice preferably. Now, the lemon juice has an alkalizing effect. I know, weird, isn't it? But it does. It has an alkalizing effect, which makes it much easier for the water to absorb, and it helps your body as well. Now, the other thing that you can do, not necessarily at the same time, you can always have water later on during the day, splash a little bit of lemon juice in. But the other thing is water, ordinary flat, especially if you're buying purified water, is not hydrating you. It's just making you wet inside. That's not what you want. You actually want to be hydrated. What your body needs when you're thirsty or when you have a hangover is minerals, right? So if you're getting a little bit irritable or you're getting sort of headachy and you're trying to drink a lot of water, the water on its own isn't enough. So I recommend you buy Himalayan salt, pink Himalayan salt, and you just put half a pinch into a glass a day. It doesn't have to be every day, every glass of water you drink, just one of them, because that will remineralize you, wake you up. So first thing in the morning, wake up, cup of hot water, splash of lemon juice, half a pinch of salt, right? It really will wake you up. Another thing that'll keep you awake and help you do everything better that needs to be done is to eat better food and to eat more at home. You'll save money doing that as well. So try to organize your life so that you can eat at home and healthier food. If you want a salad, go to the supermarket and buy the ingredients and make salad and then grab it at lunchtime. Okay, most of us working from home anyway, it's better to do it that way. It's easier to do it that way. There's no excuse. You can buy the ingredients raw, fresh, and put the salad together at lunchtime if that's what you're eating, or eat a couple of eggs or something like that, something that's healthy. Right, now we got on to the nitty-gritty. There are certain things you need to do each day, and your mind could remember those things for you. But if you're anything like me, it's not reliable. That's because your mind isn't actually created for remembering lists of things that need to be done. It's designed for being creative and having brilliant ideas and being inspirational and observing everything that's going on in order to do more stuff, right? It's not designed for remembering little details. So if you're relying on it to do that for you, good luck. Hasn't worked for me. What does work is planning ahead. So what I do is I write down the night before, that way I sleep better, everything that I need to handle the next day. It doesn't necessarily need to be in any order, just write it down. And then you can spend the first few minutes the next day sorting out which ones you're going to do first. Now, I keep a little notebook by my bed, or even sheets of bits of paper that have been torn off other things. So I've got something to write on all the time. And I add to that list. And then I bring it down with me in the morning and I sort through it and make sure. It doesn't matter if I've written the same thing down 3 times. Obviously, that means it was important. That way, I at least get the important stuff done. And I'm not thinking about what was it that I had to remember to do, right? Because I don't have to worry about that. I'm thinking, how can I make that better? Or how can I improve this? Or how can I help this? And I'm awake to what's going on around me now because I'm not trying to remember the things that I was telling myself I needed to remember yesterday because they're all written down. These things are simple and easy, and you've heard them before. I'm not the first person to tell you them at all, but I might be the first person who's actually pointed out that even the things that are easy and simple that you think, oh, that's never going to work, so you ignore, actually can have a gargantuan effect. Okay, let's carry on. At the end of the day, when you're finished at your desk, tidy it up before you go up, before you leave it, wherever your desk is. My desk at the moment is in the corner of the sitting room. When I come down in the morning and it's a mess of papers, it doesn't make me feel very good. It's like coming down to a kitchen that's overflowing with leftovers from last night and dirty dishes. It makes you feel bleh. Before your day has actually got going, you've already been given a problem. When you walk into a nice sparkly kitchen in the morning to make a cup of tea, doesn't making a cup of tea or your hot water, doesn't that become so much easier? The same with your desk. It'll be so much easier to get started when you sit down at a nice, clean, tidy desk. So always clear your desk at night. Now, sometimes when you're working on your computer, it gets clogged up and you have to do a restart or a refresh, or you have to click that little round arrow on a browser button for it to refresh. And you never think about when that's going to be, do you? You just do it when it's important. In our own lives, these refreshes and restarts and reviews and reevaluations are put off to the right moment. Like, oh, I'm not going to do my New Year's resolutions now because they happen at New Year. So I'll do them at New Year. And then somehow you think you've got a week or two to figure them out. And then that's it. And you're not going to look at your goals for another year now because the New Year's gone. Or you won't restart that till next month. You'll start next month or even next week or even tomorrow. Well, today was, oh, I'm just going to write today off and I'll start fresh tomorrow. Well, my recommendation is that you start a new habit of refreshing or starting again right now. You reboot yourself just the same way that you would reboot your computer. Okay, now reboot actually has meaning, because when you want to do a major task, which in the old days was go out for a walk in mud, right? You had to pull your boots on, and you had boot straps to pull them on, right? Because you were about to go out and do something dramatic, something big, something significant, plow a field or something. So you would pull on your boots by your bootstraps. Or soldiers who go to war put big boots on. They pull on their boots by their bootstraps. So you can do a reboot at any point. You can restart at any point. When something is not going right, when something is troubling you and it's not going right, do a reboot. Now, the best way of doing a reboot is just doing something different for 30 seconds. Do some jumping jacks, or have another glass of water, get a step away from your desk, go out for a walk for 5 minutes, sit in the sunshine, or run around in the rain. Do something different that takes you away from your desk, and then come back to it refreshed, rebooted, right? When you're on your computer, you press F5, right? And it refreshes everything. So this is what you want to do with yourself at any point. Don't wait till tomorrow or next week or next month or, God forbid, next year to look at things with a fresh view. Do it right now. Look at your goals right now. In fact, you should be looking at your goals every day. In fact, I happen to know that a very, very successful entrepreneur, Grant Cardone, writes his goals down twice a day. Every single day, once in the morning when he gets up and once in the evening before he goes to bed. Now, there's a habit that you could pick up, right? Seems so small, doesn't it? But writing down a goal on January the 1st and then looking at it on December the 31st to see if you got it done is guaranteed not going to work. I'm not saying that writing them down every single day is necessarily going to make them happen magically either, but at least you'll be focused on what they are. And then if you're making a list and prioritizing everything well, they will get done. And you will be sitting here or there on the 31st of December next year going, holy smokes, I actually did it. I actually got that done. I did sign up that many new clients every month. I did increase my income by that much. I do now have 5 independent different streams of income. It is working. That's what I want for you. I care about you. You matter to me. You really do. Whoever you are, wherever you're sitting now, however bad the last year or the last 2 years have been, however much you might be thinking, that's it, I give up. I'm not doing this anymore. It's not going to work. I know how that feels. I've had similar thoughts myself about various things recently. So let's support each other. Let's be accountability partners for each other. Let's wake up earlier and spend more time on us. Let's have that glass of hot water in the morning with a pinch of salt and a splash of lemon juice. Let's eat healthier food more at home. Let's prep each day the night before. Let's tidy our desks at the end of the day. Let's do a reboot whenever we need to do a reboot. Let's make lists of everything we need to do. And look at the lists so that we know what we need to do. And let's prioritize. You ought to be able to get the 3 most important things of your day done by 11 a.m. I call them your IGAs, your income generating activity. Because if you're running a business, actively doing stuff to generate income is the most important, the only important thing that you're doing. in your business, because if you're not doing that, you're not doing anything else either, are you? I mean, you're not going to make a fortune if you're not actually, don't need this anymore, let's get rid of that. Don't actually do the things that you need to do to generate some income. So if you want a brainstorming session with me, jump on my calendar, calendly.com, Andrea Kuchin, and we'll sit down and we'll figure out the steps that you can take to get you to the goals that you've set yourself for this year. Please set yourself some goals. Email them to me, andrea@myhomebiz.tips, and I'll help you get them done. Just because I care, just because I can. It's good for me to have positive effects on people, right? This is quite a selfish outreach, actually. I'm saying, please let me help you. I'm looking for somebody to help, okay? Not I'm looking to sell my products to somebody, but I'm looking for somebody to help. I'm going to help 5 people this year, just like that, for no reason, even whether they're buying products from me or services from me or not. I want to help 5 people. There you go. I said it. Mastermind group, whatever it is, reach out to me. Email andrea@myhomebiz.tips. What does TIPS stand for again? Oh, yes. Tools and ideas that produce success. Yes, we want some of that, don't we? You can find more information at myhomebiz.tips. You could, even if you wanted to, reach out to me by phone, 858-252-1190. Call me or text me, right? Email me, I've given you that. My name is Andrea Kuchin. You knew that. Join the Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/gain and retain clients, because that's how you build a business. And that is also the thing that a lot of people don't want to face. So I will help you gain and retain more clients, build new income streams that you wouldn't even have thought about, that will enable you to have 5 independent income streams. And that's what we're going to do this year, step by small, simple steps. So here we have a new kiss for this year. Our kiss this year is to keep it small and simple, because small leads to ginormous, humongous. Whereas if you try to start off too big, the chances are you'll fail. We don't start off running marathons. We start off crawling. And that's how we get to running marathons or whatever it is. You get the analogy, right? We have to start crawling. But somehow we've got this idea that we have to set a goal and it's got to be enormous and we've got to do it in an enormous way right now and show everyone how amazing we are, including ourselves, because that's the way we get confident. That's how we get to be good. No, that's how we get to lose our confidence and how we get to fail. Actually, little steps, teeny weeny little steps. If you read 1 page of a book every day of the year, by the end of the year, you will have read 365 pages. Think of the amount of information you could have learnt from 365 pages. And 1 page of a book is not too much, really. So think about what I've said today and message me in the Facebook group or by text or by email or whatever it is that you want to do. What small steps you could make this year that will change things, right? And if you want to be one of my 5 guinea pigs, reach out to me and we'll do that as well. That's my promise to you for this year, because I care. I really do care about you guys. All right, that's it for today. This is going to be the end of the show. I will be back again next week. With or without you, I'll be here. I look forward to seeing you then. Take care, my friends. I'm frantically hunting for my outro for the, oh, here it is, outro. Okay, so first of all, I can take this off, lovely, and then I can do the outro and wave you goodbye. Bye, my friends.